Hey everyone, Adhpa here with our Heidi today, sitting in. Decided to have a little fun over the weekend and threw a little blue into the mix, stand in some solidarity with Ukraine, and a little purple in there for Ascension. Anyway, just for fun. So, quite a lot going on this week, and trying to think of what to really talk about and do a reading on. And I know a lot of people really do want some guidance at this time, and I do use my readings for guidance, especially when I'm pulling for myself or for other people in a private setting, to help them get information about what might be coming down the pike. I just am hesitant to put a lot of those predictions and stuff online because, first of all, there's a lot of people doing it already, and I'm more interested in helping people understand how they each individually have access to all the faculties within them to intuit for themselves whatever they might need to make a successful journey in their journey. So I'm sort of coming at it from people who are already on a soul journey, trying to figure out how to use information that's coming in, what their faculties are, maybe how to use tools to enhance them, and that sort of thing. But just for fun, let's do a predictive read for something, say for instance, events related to the recent issue over Ukraine and the United States working through any sort of a deal with Russia regarding that invasion of Ukraine and a resolution to that. So that's interesting. People want to know. It's something we can test, so I can do a predictive read, and then we can see if in fact the reading kicks up anything true or predictive that might be helpful. All right, so I'll pull you down here, see if we can get our Miss Heidi to make a little exit from the stage. Might have to take a small break and set it up. And then we'll come back and throw some cards and figure out which deck to use. All right, hang tight. All righty, here we're going to use the Hip Chick Tarot today, just for fun. And I've started shuffling, but we'll do a little more shuffling here, and then we'll do a read. So I think what I want to ask is the United States going to support Ukraine with security and assist in ending Russia's invasion into Ukraine? And I think we probably know how that answer is going to look, but we could be surprised. So let's see what the cards toss up in a Celtic cross reading on this particular question. Let's see if we get one from the top. Is the United States going to support Ukraine to end the Russian invasion and return Ukraine land status to Ukraine? Alrighty, so we got one that threw out and one that turned over, so we'll use those for the first two cards. Actually, there's a couple there. All right, so let's see what we have. Signifier card. Make sure I got these turned up the right way. Yep. It's the Boss of Think. Now, in this card, bosses are the queens in the regular tarot, and the queens are the kings. So this is like the Queen of Swords. This is the Boss of Think reversed. And this is all about the internal thinking on it. And clearly, this is saying that internally, the thinking of the United States is the worst. It's their lies, misinterpretations, abuse of power, all of the worst vicious aspects you can think of someone who has a very cutting, quick wit. So that tells me that for the signifier for this, we're talking about the invasion, the invaders and the invasion. This is about that abusive invasion. The crossing card is the Ace of Think reversed. And this is like the Ace of Swords. Again, in reverse, it's not about truth. The deception here, or the thing challenging them, is all the lies. The base. Truly, I do have this the right way up, so. Okay, base of the card is the Child of Earth. The child is the page in this deck. Earth is Pentacles. It's in a good position in terms of being in the Earth position of the medicine wheel at the base of the deck. It also indicates what the Ukraine has control over. In this case, this is opening the door to well-being, but in reverse. So you could say false messages about well-being. It could be that they didn't have control over opening the door to their own well-being. There were other players involved. That sort of thing. Recent past affecting it is the Six of Think swords. I mean, this is fascinating how many swords there are, but you would expect that in such a very difficult situation. Requires a lot of thought to resolve. Okay, so the Six of Think is typically that trying to go into calmer waters. So the recent effect, recent past, but if you look here, it looks like very much like somebody traveling to meet to something new. Some clouds behind them, but also the potential for sun. So I really think this is about the trip that was just made to DC. And that there was a hope that it would, you know, bring things to a calmer place. Above it, the things you can't control. The Nine of Think. I should pull these from here so you can see I'm pulling from the top of the deck. The Nine of Think is that, you know, nightmare card. This is what they cannot control, the anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety because of all of the lies and deception and trying to sort out the truth. What they're trying to manifest, what they're hoping for, the Seven of Feels. This is your Cups suit in this deck. And, you know, they got all these wants, desires, but some of them are not good. So it's about making choices. And you have the potential to make good choices or poor choices. You have the potential to make choices that satisfy all the aspects of the wheel, the spirit, the mind, the heart, the body. And these choices made in the spirit affect those things. It starts in spirit and it becomes manifest. So there is a real attempt here to try to manifest their own agency and their own ability to make the choices, to have access to those choices for Ukraine. Where they see themselves in relation to it is the Four of Feels. That's that Four of Cups card. Where, you know, there's a consideration of the existing spirit, and then there's an offer of a new energy coming in. Now I read spirit as energy, cups as energy. You can see this cup as also a commitment card. There's the three, first you have to have your own desire, then you meet with someone, then you get support in the third, and finally there's some sort of commitment. So you can think of this as a commitment and agreement card where the commitment is now being offered, or they're seeking the commitment. And clearly they are now seeking a commitment. The environment around them, though, is that Eight of Think. We're back to those swords again, because, that's that woman who's hemmed in. So in the environment around them, there's like all of this deception and lies, and the stuff with the mind stuff has locked them in. They feel trapped and locked in. I'm sorry, Heidi, you can't come in. She really wants to come in in this reading. Hopes and fears is the Four of Think. And again, that's that Four of Swords. It's a withdrawing, a resting, a truce. They really want a truce. They want things to go back. They want things to go back to where they were, to just stop the fighting and have a truce. And then they can address perhaps the land itself. But their hope is in a truce and protection of what they have. And the final outcome is the Six of Feels, the Six of Cups. And that's that going back to an earlier age. But it's very interesting here, because now it's like this woman who came to DC is now off to home and will find something at home. So I would read that as, they're going to go back to more nostalgic ways, the ways they knew. And at the bottom of the deck has been all along the World card. So this lady, and I'll cover her up here now because YouTube. She's, this represents that coming to the end of the cycle. So, the universe, here we go. It's a world cycle. For Ukraine, this is the world. This is all about the world. This is their world. And they're really needing support and wanting support and deserving of support. Will the United States support them? I mean, in the end, this is a yes card. This is if finally things will go back to the way they were in the agreements that they have. And we have an agreement to support Ukraine. When they gave up their nuclear weapons, we agreed to support them and help them protect their property, their land, their nation, their sovereignty. So that's something we need to do. And it certainly looks as if there'll be an attempt to go back to that. We could pull... I usually do like 5 additional cards to see how it will play out. Let's see what we get. We get nature. That's that the Empress card. Things are growing, so there's a growing desire to go back. 5 of Think. That's that abuse of power. So there's a growing need and desire to go back. But there is definitely an abuse of power occurring. Hermit, reflection. So there's going to be a high level of reflection. That's a higher arcana card. Looking at it and finding and showing the truth in it. 8 of Create, that's that 8 of Wands. There'll be a whole bunch of messages coming out. A lot of passion, a lot of passionate messages. Something could happen within 8 days. This could represent that within about 8 days, whatever is going to go on here is going to happen. And then the final on that is the Ace of Create. And there will be a new passion, a new start, a new beginning. for supporting Ukraine. So I would say, and that's probably to the U.S. relations. So will the United States support Ukraine? I think in the end they will. And I think something could happen is maybe in the next 8 days that shows us that new beginning, to go back to supporting the existing agreements as we have agreed to do in the past. All right, so that's pretty good. I'll stop it here, bring it up. We might pull a wisdom card for the week, and that'll wrap it up. Okay, well, so we'll pull a couple cards, oracle cards for Ukraine as well here. We're going to use the Sacred Path cards, and then we'll use Aisha Frost's Sacred Medicine cards. So, start with the Sacred Path and see. And I've been shuffling, so I'm just going to riffle through now and pull the card that jumps out for Ukraine, which is, I have a card for Ukraine getting support from the U.S. What does the Oracle deck say on their Sacred Path? Getting in Libby's new group on Facebook, which I love. It's a great group, really good people. Libby's Magster Tarot. Found her first time I saw her when she recognized the native people on whose lands her videos are made. I was just so thrilled. So I really enjoyed watching Libby's channel and her predictions and seeing her grow as a reader, and it's very good stuff. Okay, let's see what we got for Ukraine. Not one jumping out, so just going to pull from the top. Ooh, victory. Counting coup. Very good. So that looks to me like they need to hang on. He counted coup. That's what he did. He's going to get a victory out of that. That's good stuff. All right, and then the Sacred Medicine card for Ukraine for the week. Big old truck coming down the road here. Oh, there we got one that wants to come out. And it is reclamation, home. They're reclaiming their home. I'd say that there's some good cards for Ukraine. God bless them. And anyone who's being oppressed. All right. That's it. That's it for the week. Have a great week. Love you guys. Please click like, get it out there, subscribe, share, comments in. Let's have a discussion. All right. Talk to you soon.